Hello. Have we got anyone in chat yet? Can you guys hear me? I want to just double check that you guys can hear me before we start and we have a bunch of issues like we normally do. Hello, yes. Okay, cool. Milotic with Aquatel! Exclamation mark. Sirs, I assume you've just misspelt yes somehow. All right. Let's just get into it. I'm sure, I mean, this is a day late now, so I'm sure you guys have seen this already, but we're going to have a quick look at the move updates. So let me just move this out of the way. Down here. Hi bro, can we make some friendly battles? Possibly towards the very end of the stream, but it's not the focus of this. Have a high rank Shadow Shiny for Ultra League. Of the Milotic, that's very cool. Alright, so let's quickly look at the move update. Actually, before that, we'll look at the sort of league rotation, because I think regardless of, you know, what moves get buffed, nerfed, whatever, if we have like awful league rotations, like currently we've only got Catch Cup, Ultra League and Master League, so it's not the most appealing. Let me know if you guys are even playing in the Go Battle League right now, or if you've just kind of given up waiting for next season. But oh yeah, this is actually quite big. So where is it? There is Go Battle Week starts Thursday, December 4th. So you guys know I run the Battle of Spice every time we get a Go Battle Week or Go Battle Weekend or anything like that. So it is literally right at the start of the season. So that is something to look forward to. It will be in the Great League, Ultra League and Master League. And after the success, I would say, of the recent Battle of Spice Great League Classic Edition, I am going to give it another try. We'll see if it's got the same sort of positivity. It didn't pull in as many views, I think. However, it was... did get very good feedback. A lot of people actually saying they enjoyed it more than the regular Great League Battle of Spice, so that's cool to see. It will be right at the start of the season. Obviously there's no, or if you didn't know this, there's no like legend rank or anything, so your ranking doesn't really matter. So I guess at the start of the season it kind of doesn't matter that much anyways, but basically I'm hoping that with the Battle of Spice with no ranking, right at the start of the season, we're going to go absolutely crazy with the Spice submissions, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, yeah, we've got all three leagues to start off with. We've got Ultra League and Scroll Cup. Scroll Cup, they've had this before, I think a few seasons ago when Urshifu first released, and I'll be honest, it's not a very fun meta at all, so not looking forward to that. I'll probably just play some Ultra League there. We've then got Master League and Holiday Cup Great League Edition, which is actually a pretty decent meta from what I remember. But yeah, Master League, apparently Open Master League's been a bit rubbish the past couple of seasons, so is what it is. And then we've got regular Great League, Holiday Cup, Ultra League Edition. I don't know if we've had the Holiday Cup in the Ultra League before, but that's cool. Obviously it'll be alongside Great League, so probably not many people will play it anyways. Then we've got all three leagues again. Then we've got the Sunshine Cup for some reason in early January, which I don't really like this meta. We've had it quite a few times recently as well, so don't really know why they're bringing that back. We've got Retro Cup Great League Edition, which is, it's all right. I think with buffed Confusion and like the rework to Dragons, both of those, like Dragons and Confusion users in the past have been like very strong in those metas, because nothing resists Dragon, and obviously Confusion is only resisted by other Psychic types in the Retro Cup, since Dark and Steel types are banned. I don't know if that's going to be a particularly fun cup. but it's alongside Master Premier, so if you can't really afford to play in the Open Master League, you might have a better chance here. Then we've got Great League and Ultra Premier. Again, Ultra Premier is alright, but being alongside Great League, you're probably just not going to see many people playing in it. And then all 3 leagues again. Then we've got the new Championship Series Cup, which I won't really go into too much detail about, alongside Ultra League and alongside the Master League. And then the Love Cup at the end before all 3 leagues return. So I don't know if the cups are that exciting, but it is what it is. No Little League again. I mean, to be honest, Little League is awful, so I don't mind that at all. For people who have invested in like a lot of Little League Pokemon, then obviously it's annoying to invest in your Smeargles, your Shuckles, your Bronzors and stuff like that. But I don't like that meta at all, so I'm happy that it doesn't exist anymore. Anyways, yeah, we talked about the Go Battle Week. No one cares about any of this stuff. Oh yeah, Pikachu Libre, you can get a rank 20. You don't have to hit Legend. It's not going to be shiny, which is obviously a bit annoying, but understandable. They want to try and keep it rare. I don't know if anyone cares about poses and avatar items. Someone probably will, but I don't. Primarina banned for Scroll Cup. That's fine. There should still be other Pokemon that learn Charm, but they're probably just not that great. Anyways, let's just skip all of this. Let's go to the move updates. So, Powder Snow going from 5 to 6. That's going to make it like a Shadow Claw clone or like Leafage. Trying to think, Acid, those types of fast moves. So let's have a look actually at the Pokemon that learn Powder Snow and see which Spice picks I think are most interesting. So excuse all the adverts on this page, but we got Snova, which I have already got. Leafage, which is the same thing, just a grass type version of the new Powder Snow. Satoddle, pretty bulky, decent. Obviously Titan's getting quite a few buffs next season, so Satoddle gonna be a bit in its shadow, but it is actually fairly good if you've invested in it. We got Amora, which is quite cool. Alolan Sandshrew, Cubchoo. I think Cubchoo's still going to be pretty awful, unfortunately. I know at least one other person that has an XL level 50 Cubchoo built. Obviously, Shadow Celio going to be pretty meta next season, I reckon. Castform still only has Ice-type moves, so that's a bit meh. Smoochum is something I'm really looking forward to. This thing isn't even in the game yet. I want to see what moves it's data mined to have. What the hell? So Powder Snow, Icy Wind, Weatherball Ice, Surf is actually a decent moveset. But yeah, anyways, that's not in the game, so let's not get too sidetracked. Also not in the game, Frostlass is going to be kind of ridiculous, I reckon, with obviously Powder Snow and Shadow Ball getting buffed next season. You got Bomber Snow, Piloswine, Aurorus could be quite fun. Obviously not a great typing still, but you know, Titan is getting tons of buffs next season, so I expect to see it have a bit of play. I think there are definitely better ice types, so I don't know if it will necessarily stick in the meta. But then you got Hisuian Avalugg, similar to like the Aurorus, Amora. Not a great typing, but could be a pretty good core breaker. Frostmoth, which is a Pokemon that I built this season, spent all my rare candies into building it. I'm excited to see that because this thing is pretty attack weighted. You got Beartic as well, which would be cool to use. And then as mentioned already by Slutherb in the chat, Mamoswine is going to be very fun. And then this is another Pokemon that is currently not in the game yet. And then obviously you've got Legacy, you've got Walrein, which is getting double buffed next season, probably going to be very prominent in the meta. But yeah, Icicle Spear, obviously that's not going to impact too many people. You've got your Mamoswines, you've got your Piloswines, Walrein, Titan's getting it as well. So we'll just glance over that. Geomancy as well, I think only Xerneas learns this, so It's literally only going to impact that Pokemon. Then you got Shadow Ball. This one is pretty huge. I think Shadow Ball's already a great move, but obviously going to be cheaper in energy. Presumably only going to be 5 less energy. I can't imagine they'd make it 45. Otherwise it would end up being a Frenzy Plant clone. But yeah, these first few Pokemon obviously pretty irrelevant. Aegislash is probably still not going to see loads of usage, but it is interesting that it's now got 2 50 energy charge moves, so it can store back-to-back Shadow Balls or Gyro Balls. You've got Drifloon, which is quite a fun spice pick. Sandygast, which I have built. Obviously, you guys know Moat Goat. That's going to be quite fun to take a look at. Phantump as well, another XL Pokemon. Spoink is still completely useless, so we won't worry about that. Sinistea, Gimmighoul. I think Gimmighoul's only got Shadow Ball and Astonish, so a little bit irrelevant there. But you've got, a load of Marowak, Claydol, Shadow Hypno, Noctowl. Don't think that's going to see too much play, even with a buff to Shadow Ball. Golbat might be slightly useful since its pacing isn't amazing with Wing Attack these days. Obviously, Glalie is going to be looking quite strong with Powder Snow and Shadow Ball. Cofagrigus is actually going to be quite good there because it doesn't really have a cheap move. Well, it does in Dark Pulse, but now it's also able to throw Shadow Balls. Let's see what else is going to be fun here. Chimecho could be quite good there with Astonish, Psyshock, and Shadow Ball. Gourgeist obviously getting Incinerate as well, which is kind of crazy. We've got Hisuian Quillfish, which could be quite fun. Houndstone, which is also gaining access to Play Rough. I don't know if that's really going to help it too much. Galarian Slowking has quite a lot of different charge moves now. A few of them have been buffed recently as well, so this could be quite interesting. Mr. Mime, unfortunately, is lacking a second charge move that's any good, but with Psywave and Shadow Ball, it's actually a decent combination. I mean, Abra's still going to be unusable, but having a slightly cheaper nuke move is going to be quite nice for it. It still only has like Zen Headbutt and Hidden Power, or no, Charge Beam, sorry. So not the best, but still, if anyone has an Abra or a Shadow Abra, I'd love to shoutcast some gameplay. Ninjask I think is going to be really fun because obviously Aerialace having been nerfed recently, that impacts it quite a lot, but being cheaper to that Shadow Ball is going to be very fun. Trevenant, Skeledirge, going to be pretty good next season. Toxicroak could be quite fun there with Shadow Ball coverage being cheaper now. Obviously, you have the option to go for Poison Sting and get to those charge moves very fast. Mismagius as well has actually quite a few decent fast moves. I believe it's got like Sucker Punch, Psywave, Hex as options. Banette as well. It's going to be really nice there. Quite a lot of like attack-weighted ghost types like Shadow Haunter, Gengar, Dhelmise, stuff like that, where it's going to be really nice. Kadabra as well. Getting to that Shadow Ball slightly sooner is going to be very nice for them. Hisuian Typhlosion, Ceruledge, Raikou with the Shadow Ball coverage. Goldengo, Cursula, Gengar we already mentioned, Hooper. Alakazam, Chandelure, Darkrai. Obviously, we've mentioned Aegislash already. Lucario, Blacephalon. Okay, don't know what the heck that was there. Blacephalon is going to be one that I'm quite looking forward to because you can actually farm up to... And same with like... What is this? Why does this keep popping up? Same with like... I don't know what that is. But same with like Chandelure, you can actually farm up to back-to-back Shadow Balls, which is quite good. Whereas before, with the Blacephalon, you'd have to go for a Mystical Fire bait if you wanted to farm up to 100 energy. And then with Chandelure, you literally just couldn't go for a Shadow Ball if you had 100 energy because you would need a second Incinerate. But anyways, that's quite a big one. Shadow Sneak, probably irrelevant. Foul Play, to 65 power, not going to be hugely impactful. Brick Break, 40 to 50 is quite significant. A lot of Pokemon that learn Brick Break are kind of useless, but being able to do a bit more damage is quite nice for them. Obviously, it debuffs the opponent's defense, like Poison Fang. Ariados with Shadow Sneak, yeah, but it's already got great other charge moves. I mean, you do have, obviously, coverage with Shadow Sneak to hit super effective into Ghost types and Psychic types, which you are weak to, but you've also got Bug type moves there. But anyways, let's have a look at Brick Break. Obviously, these first few are going to be quite irrelevant. I had a look at this thing, but it only learns Rock Smash as a fast move. I know Clobopus is coming out next season. Oh, what is happening here? I don't know why that keeps popping up. But anyways, Shadow Gollet is actually going to be quite fun there with Brick Break doing a bit more damage. It's got access to Mud Slap, Astonish, Shadow Punch, and Brick Break, which would be a great combination. Scraggy, I guess technically getting double buffed with Foul Play and Brick Break. Unfortunately, its fast moves is where it lets itself down. It's only got Feint Attack and Rock Smash as well, I believe. Timber, similar thing, like it's not got good fast moves at all. Google Chrome eating away too much RAM. Yeah, I don't know I think it's just this website, because last season or the season before, when I did a stream like this, it had the same thing. So I think it must just be Game Press that's the issue, but I don't really care. We can just we can keep on clicking weights and it'll be fine. But yeah, there's quite a few Pokemon here. So Hakamoa, I think, is actually going to benefit quite a bit. Obviously, with the change to Dragon type moves, it's no longer exactly that fast to get to the Dragon Claw with Dragon Tail, but obviously Brick Break going to be cheaper than that. It's also Stab, and then it's also got Rock Tomb for coverage, so Hakamoa could be quite an annoying Pokemon to deal with. Got Magby. Okay, this is really annoying me at the moment, but we're going to have to just soldier on anyways. Magby, Cacnea, those are quite fun Pokemon there. Machoke, you probably don't want to run it on Machoke just because you've got Cross Chop and Dynamic Punch you could opt for instead. Raichu, similar thing. It's got quite a lot of different charge moves, so I don't think Brick Break is necessarily going to be that appealing. But you've got Krookodile, which actually does use Brick Break as its like bait move, so I think that's quite a good buff for Krookodile. Sork and Shadow Sork, that's alright for it. It does have, I think its cheapest move is Body Slam, but Brick Break is kind of its best fighting type move, which is kind of crazy. Then Magmortar, you probably don't want to run it there. Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Single Strike is quite interesting because I think... let's actually just have a look at their movesets here. If this stuff loads. But yeah, so the Water type one here is going to have Brick Break, Dynamic Punch, Close Combat, and Aqua Jet. Obviously, both Dynamic Punch and Close Combat are way better charge moves. However, Brick Break might be kind of useful for you if you think you're happy with the counter damage that you're dealing. And then this one's got Sucker Punch, so Sucker Punch as well, going to be quite nice for it if you're debuffing the opponent's defense and then obviously dealing a lot of damage with those Sucker Punches. But yeah, that's it. There's a few legacy ones, kind of irrelevant here, so we'll just skip over those. Then next up, Meteor Mash. Not going to impact too many Pokemon. Obviously, you got Lucario, you got Metagross, and Clefable. I think that's possibly it. Vice Grip is an interesting one because, firstly, it's spelt with a S in game, I think. So I spent ages trying to figure out where the heck Vice Grip was, but it's spelled like this, so that's confused me. But anyways, pretty irrelevant move here, unfortunately. You got the likes of Kingler, Pinsir, Crawdaunt, Marwile, Krabby, Clang. So I think maybe outside of Clang, none of these Pokemon, they have like better coverage moves that you'd prefer to run, because the thing is, it's a normal type move. It's decent stats, but like it's not really going to help you too much. Whereas this one, this is actually coverage. So if you've got any Pokemon that resist electric, Vice Grip is somewhat useful for you there. But yeah, I think not really going to impact too many Pokemon other than the Regidrago, but obviously they've then nerfed it there, and then the other ones are just nerfs. So yeah, that's pretty much it for like moves getting buffed. As for the availability updates, Ursaluna getting Smackdown is quite underwhelming. Obviously, we've been waiting for Ursaluna to get a better fast move. It's finally got one, but Smackdown probably isn't it. What is this site? The one I was using was Game Press, although it seemed to be quite... well, it's basically got adverts everywhere on the page. This is supposedly the V1 version. It's got a V2 version, but then it has a completely different layout, which I didn't like, so I'm on this one. Maybe that's the issue with it, and I think it's maybe not quite up to date. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we're past that now, so we're on to attack availability updates. Congrats on Legend, thank you very much. So yeah, Smackdown, a bit underwhelming, but it could see some play. Ursaluna has like a lot of charge moves options, so in the Master Premier Cup, this could actually be quite good for it, as even though something like a Gyarados should be able to do very well into it, you have access to Smackdown, you have potentially Thunder Punch as well, or Ice Punch for like a Dragonite, for example. You got Gogoat learning Rock Slide. It's going to be very nice for it. Obviously, it did also get buffed with Brick Break, but I think Rock Slide is just way better. Dhelmise on Brutal Swing is really nice for it. It does need a cheaper charge move. Tentacruel on Payback is great for Tentacruel as well. Ursaluna getting access to Play Rough, that doesn't really impact it at all. It just makes it harder to get the moves that you want. Houndstone, similar thing, like Play Rough is good coverage for it technically. You know, you can hit for super effective up against dark types, which would typically be very good. Into you, completely wall you actually if you run Lick, Psychic Fangs and Shadow Ball, but yeah, I just don't see it having play there. Dewblade getting Shadow Claw and Sacred Sword is a massive update for it. Obviously Ludicolo, you guys probably know about this already, getting 2 buffs with Astonish and Weatherball Water. Samurott, again, having access to Sacred Sword is going to be very nice, and Kartana as well. I'm really looking forward to this because I've mentioned this many times using Kartana, because I love to use Glass Cannon Pokemon, but using Razor Leaf just is not fun. Like, you either just instantly lose games or you instantly win them, and it's yeah, it's just not the best playstyle. But it's gaining access to both Sacred Sword and somewhere further down here, I must have missed it. Here we go. It's also gaining access to Fury Cutter, which is going to make it a lot more sort of versatile. But yeah, obviously we mentioned this already. So Titan gaining access to Superpower as well as Icicle Spear here. You technically might not even want to run Icicle Spear, but it is an option for a cheaper move. Blaziken is a pretty huge update here. It's gaining access to Aura Sphere and Ember. So Blaziken is going to be very spammy, hitting very hard as well with those Aura Spheres. And then you've got the options of Fire Punch for a slightly cheaper energy fire type move. You've got, oh sorry, not Fire Punch, Blaze Kick, which is the exact same move actually in terms of damage and energy. But you've got Blast Burn, you've got Brave Bird. You could potentially run Legacy Stone Edge as well. So Blaziken is kind of going to be all over the place. Obviously, Regidrago we talked about. The Dunsparce gaining access to Body Slam, and I believe later on as well gaining access to Dragon Tail. That's quite nice for it, just to make it a little bit different from Dunsparce, because at the moment it's basically just Dunsparce with slightly worse stats. So giving it access to moves that, you know, allows it to be slightly different is quite nice for it, because I believe it has exactly the same moves currently. It's got like Bite, Astonish, Dig as other moves that Dunsparce also learns. Milotic, a few people in chat have been mentioning that they're excited for this. Gaining access to Aqua Tail. Lumineon, unfortunately, I believe has like Water Gun and Infestation as fast moves, so not the best there. It's got quite a good stat product, but I don't think Aqua Tail is really going to help it out too much. Already talked about Ludicolo. Bronzong, this is nice. It's going to give you coverage up against fire and ground type Pokemon, which is actually very nice for it. Suicune again gaining access to Water Gun, probably doesn't really help it out that much. Hydreigon gaining access to Fly. is kind of nice for coverage. You can hit for super effective damage up against fighting type Pokemon and bug types as well, I guess. So that is quite nice coverage there. Glalie, we've talked about already. A Lunatone and Solrock, wherever that is. I'm quite excited for this. I ran them earlier in the season on the same team together. Wait, no, I didn't run Lunatone at all. What am I talking about? But I did run the Solrock, and solar beaming stuff was really fun. So actually, it's kind of interesting because, you know, running solar beam for coverage like really helps you with the weaknesses to ground types and water type Pokemon. So dropping that is going to be quite interesting for fire type Weather Ball. But maybe you could actually run it with fire type Weather Ball and solar beam just for the weird coverage. I know this beautiful man Callum will be running Dragon Breath Tyranitar. Yep, I'm very excited about that. Kyogre gaining access to Avalanche. It's not really going to help it that much. Obviously, it's going to be quicker to get to charge moves. Get to its coverage. Ice type move there instead of Blizzard. So up against dragons and stuff in the Master League, it's pretty huge for it. But I don't play Master League, so it doesn't really impact me at all. Dragon Breath, Aerodactyl, and Tyranitar is going to be really fun. Aerodactyl's got some decent coverage moves. It's got obviously Rock Slide. It's got Earth Power, Hyper Beam, Iron Head, I believe as well. So getting to those moves at an actual decent pace now is going to be very nice for it. And similar with Tyranitar, obviously Brutal Swing, you're going to get there incredibly fast with Dragon Breath. Stone Edge obviously is its cheapest like non-dark type move, so it will still take a while to get there, and potentially as an anti-flying type Pokemon, running Dragon Breath might hinder it quite a bit, but it does make it more versatile. Talked about the Dunsparce already. Lucario gaining access to Meteor Mash is it's another Pokemon that's just got way too many charge moves. It's got obviously Shadow Ball's getting cheaper this season. It's got Aura Sphere, it's got Close Combat, Power Up Punch, Blaze Kick, Thunder Punch, Flash Cannon. It's going to be quite a nightmare actually trying to get the right moves on this Pokemon, but it is cool to see. Darkspun gaining access to Fire Fang. This is just going to give it coverage, so potentially if you use it as like a save swap or something, you might draw out, I don't know, like a steel type Pokemon that's expecting to completely wall this Pokemon, and actually, oops, you just went into a Fire Fang Darkspun. And we talked about Blaziken already, and then obviously Gourgeist gaining access to Incinerate. I think this is the first non-stab Incinerate user we've had in the game. I think it might be, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays. Obviously with Seed Bomb also being 40 energy this season as well. It's only going to be 2 Incinerates to a Seed Bomb, which is quite cool. Yeah, Square Shoulder saying Scizor Trap. So yeah, that'll be quite interesting. Obviously Scizor users will have to be a bit more aware of that. But yeah, overall I think some cool move updates. I think it is a little bit underwhelming, especially since we are getting just an interlude season, so there's no like rankings or whatever. It's going to be, I think, you know, first couple weeks maybe there'll be a lot of interest, a lot of hype, people excited to use new stuff, but I think it's going to die quite quickly because, you know, they didn't change anything to do with Mud Slap or Astonish or Rock Tomb or other moves that were just completely busted and probably could have done with a bit of a nerf there. So I think eventually the meta will feel pretty these changes just won't feel like they make a big enough impact. So yeah, we'll have to wait to see how it plays out. But yeah, I think as well, I don't think they've even announced why we're having an interlude season. So that would be nice to say, like, I mean, we probably have a good idea that they're trying to fix like some of the big issues with PvP at the moment, but I don't think they've necessarily stated any of that. So it would just be nice to get some transparency saying like, oh, we're not bothering with ranks and stuff because we're going to be making changes to the game, which might impact how it plays here and there, but hopefully is sort of for a more stable game going forward. But yeah, I think as a content creator, like, I already run a lot of wacky stuff anyways, so the fact that they're buffing a lot of sort of I mean, like, a lot of these Pokemon aren't going to be meta anyways. You've got a few Pokemon like the Ludicolo, which is now probably going to be top meta. That's pretty much it, to be honest. There's like a few others like Blaziken, which you'll probably see a lot more frequently. Milotic maybe. But yeah, most of these, Glalie maybe. But yeah, most of these you're not actually going to see loads probably next season. And you'll probably just see a lot of the same stuff that you're already seeing. Lots of Mud Slappers, lots of, you know, same old kind of thing. My team is going to be Pangoro, Dewblade, Aegislash. Or like for the whole season? Or is that just your first team you're going to try out? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have much else to say. Let me know your thoughts on the season update. Are you excited about it? Are you underwhelmed? Do you think more people are going to play because it's an interlude season? You got a free chance at getting a Pikachu Libre. Do you think more people playing specifically for the Pikachu Libre is actually going to sort of keep them playing PvP in future seasons? Or do you think a lot of people are going to go up to rank 20 and then just completely stop playing altogether? Let me know your thoughts. Wish it didn't last 3 months. Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue with it. I think the last interlude season wasn't 3 months. So I think it might have only been a month long or like 6 weeks or something. So yeah, the fact that it's a full season of like no ranks is probably going to mean that, like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks into the season, it's like going to be completely dead. They still haven't created an electric type 35 energy charge move. Yeah, that is kind of crazy considering in the main series games, like a lot of electric type Pokemon are known for having like high speed stats, which doesn't really transfer into Pokemon Go. But the fact that other than Fairy, I think electric is the only typing that doesn't have a 35 energy move is kind of crazy. The move change usually starts... Yeah, so the move update will go live when the new season, like the new GBL season, begins. Although sometimes they mess up. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go live, or if you can't like get the certain moves onto Pokemon that should be learning new moves. So I would definitely recommend, if you're waiting to like TM a certain Pokemon, then you can use like an elite TM just to see if that move is now in the move pool. Psychic and Bug as well, from what I recall. No, Psychic has Psychic Fangs and Bug has Fell Stinger. Obviously X's used to be a 35 energy move but is now 40. But yeah, I definitely recommend, if you're waiting at the start of next season, you should definitely check with an elite TM to see if the new moves are available to be TMs, because otherwise you could end up using like 20-30 TMs trying to get, I don't know, Meteor Mash on your Lucario, and then find out that they actually just forgot to flip the switch and that it doesn't it doesn't learn Meteor Mash yet anyways. What are my thoughts on Umbreon? I don't know. It's going to be slightly better with Foul Play, but you might still even want to prefer to run Dark Pulse. Kind of okay with it. I haven't even hit Expert this season, so I'm frustrated and disappointed in myself. Need a bit of a break. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, just because you've maybe not done as well as you were hoping to do this season doesn't mean that the game should be helping you out by making it less enticing for you to play the next season. I don't think that's the right way of going about it. You can also check the moves in the Pokédex. Oh, I did not. Oh yeah, that's true. There's like quite a lot of updates with the Pokédex that I haven't really thought about since they made all the changes there, but that is a good point that you make. But yeah, I think overall a probably quite underwhelming season, if I'm going to be honest. Like, even just looking at the buffed spice stuff that we were looking at right now, I feel like Shadow Ball users, there's a lot of options there that are going to benefit from being able to farm up to back-to-back Shadow Balls, for example. On a brighter note, you can have so much content with people submitting teams that I'm not going to mention that word. I'll be doing that myself. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, but yeah. Volt Switch Raikou with the buffed Shadow Ball and Aura Sphere might be a fun spice pick to mess around with, yeah. That's going to be really nice. Tentacruel, Poison Sting, Scald, and Payback. Yeah, you could run that, or you could run it with Acid. I think both would be fine options. Wacky, alright, okay. Right, yeah, that makes more sense. Yo, what's up, Callum? Finally caught you live. How's it going, Tyler Parker? Unfortunately, not doing any battles on this stream. I'll be honest, like, since I hit Legend, especially with the cups available right now, I just don't really feel like battling too much at all. Like, with a lot of other people, it's like, oh, I finally hit Legend, now I can run some Spice, whereas I'm the opposite. I'm, like, running Spice throughout the season, and then I've hit Legend, and it's like, okay, well, like, now what do I do? Like, I just go back to doing what I was doing before? I don't know, like, and if I try and get really sort of creative and wacky with the Spice picks, then up against Legend trainers, like, I'm just going to be losing every game. So, yeah, it's a bit of an awkward one for me. Today I did do some battles with what something suggested, which was to run meta Pokemon, but with, like, the complete wrong movesets. So I've done that, and coincidentally, like, every expert trainer that I battled against in, like, the 2900s, I managed to lose to, so that was great for them. They all managed to climb, whereas I was actually doing pretty well up against the Legend trainers. Can you submit some battles with Slowbro in the Master League? I just don't think there's any point. No one's, no offense to Mega Slowbro enthusiasts out there, but no one's going to care that the Mega Master League is no longer here anymore. So, yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to, and if I really just don't have any other content to create, maybe I'll have a look at it, but I'm unlikely to showcase it, so I probably wouldn't bother if I was you. That's the thing as well, is like, I can put out videos, but I just don't think people are really going to care too much either. I think right now the YouTube PvP metagame is just talking about next season, like I'm literally doing right now. You know, you have Yonkers spamming out like 3 videos a day on buffed Pokemon. You have Dan Ottawa talking about his initial thoughts and then his extended thoughts on next season, and he'll probably have a ultra extended version coming out tomorrow or something. Non-XL Ultra League teams, yeah, but I don't know, like, people just aren't going to care. Also, I found today, I was doing Catch Cup, the amount of people who have built like Azumarill this season is kind of crazy. Because, like, anyone who's using Azumarill has probably been battling for a long time, and you've probably, if you're building Azumarill like every season for Catch Cup, then that's just crazy. Any chance Shadow Sneak energy increase is a typo? A decrease to make a Ghost 40-75 move makes more sense. Probably not, just because Giratina would be quite strong there. But then I don't think it needed a change at all, so I don't know. Faced Jamie Finn last night with his Quillfish Wireless Hydreigon team. He was one of my few wins. Not sure if he threw for me or not. To be honest, we did have a couple Marrow events. Oh, fair enough. I don't know. I like hardly take any notice of Pokemon that spawn these days. It's annoying because where I live, I don't know why this is, but whenever I open the game, it, like, I'm not located where I'm supposed to be. I'm like 50-60 meters down the road in a spot next to an RAF base where there's no spawns, so I literally just can't catch anything from home. So I basically just don't open the game unless I'm doing like GBL or stuff at home. So yeah, I don't really know what's happening in game most of the time. How do you go viral on Twitter? I don't know. Unfortunately, Catch Cup is just try hard sweats. I mean, to be honest, like, I'm playing. I haven't really played since I hit Legend, so I'm going up against people who are literally in the 2900 elo range, who are making that final push for Legend. So I don't really blame them at all. I listen to this channel so much, my kids join in on the take that game. Oh, that's fun. But yeah, I mean, like, you can't really blame anyone for tryharding in the Catch Cup because it's the final week of the season. Unless they're like in ace rank or something where like they're obviously not gonna hit whatever their goal is for the season, then, you know, this is their last chance to hit legend or to hit expert or whatever it is they're aiming for. Trying to climb in Catch Cup myself, but I don't know if I should build a Gastrodon for it or not. I saw a ton of Gastrodon today, so potentially, yeah, a lot of other people are doing it. My rank 3 Morgrem is going hard in Catch Cup right now. Is it actually? Like, what does it beat in the Catch Cup? Because from my experience, a lot of people have built Shadow Scizor again. I guess Altaria I've seen a few of, so it'd be pretty good there. But I've seen a lot of Azumarill, a lot of Mudslappers, quite a few Carbink as well, which is annoying. Some Pokemon should not be available in Catch Cup, it just kills the fun. Scizor 1v3'd my team earlier. Did it manage to get a boost as well? That's usually how it goes. If you go into the Go Battle League and you're slightly weak to Scizor, best believe you're going to be getting a Night Slash boost on the first charge move. That's just always how it goes. Seen so many XL Mons. I mean, the thing as well is, like, it's hard to like judge people in the Catch Cup because we don't know what Pokemon they've already got built or whatever. They could be fairly new to the game. They could have been, you know, saving out for a good Carbink for like the past year or something. And was there an event recently where Carbink was available as a spawn? I think it was. I can't remember what the event was, but I'm pretty sure Carbink was available recently. So like, it makes sense, but like, yeah, it is still annoying. Like, the amount of like completely fast move, pressure oriented teams in Catch Cup is it's just not very fun. Why is Basti everywhere in this cup? I personally didn't see any. I don't think. But yeah. Anyways, I don't really know what else to ramble on about. Feel free to ask me any questions you've got. Otherwise, we're going to end the stream fairly soon. I'm not going to do any battles, unfortunately. I do have a video coming out tomorrow, so look forward to that. Basically, using the limited Pokemon that I have that should be considered meta, but with all the complete wrong fast moves and charge moves. So I had a Spidops on counter, X-Scissor and Grass Knot. I had Altaria on Peck, Dragon Pulse and Dazzling Gleam, and then a Claydol. The Altaria was Shadow, and so is the Claydol. Claydol's on Confusion, Gyro Ball, and Shadow Ball. I've only been playing PvP for 4 months, so nothing is really held back for me in the Catch Cup. Yeah, I think that's the thing about Catch Cup, is like, it's great for newer players, and it kind of encourages you to build stuff. But for anyone who's been playing for like a really long time, it's like, well, I'm not going to build another one of these, so I kind of just have to use like the very few Pokemon that they've released this season, and majority of the time they're just not that great, or you can't build a great team around it. I'm not normally an Ultra League Plus limited meta player, but this season Ultra League has been awful, and so have most of the limited metas. What do you usually do except for YouTube and Pokemon Go? I mean, this is what I usually do, is Pokemon Go and YouTube. I mean, like, hobby-wise, I'm usually fairly active. I play football, do rock climbing, I go to the gym and stuff. But yeah, this is my job. I can see it being super annoying for XL Pokemon to like Diggersby. I don't think I saw any Diggersby today. Florges and Shadow Talon are easy picks for Catch Cup. Yeah, so I saw a ton of the Florges. I just got on the stream, but what are your thoughts on Ludicolo, Doublade, Hisuian Samurott buff? Ludicolo is probably going to be fairly common next season. I think Doublade is... Wait, hold up, one sec. Oi! Oh yeah, that's another thing. I have a new cat. So long-term viewers of the channel will know I used to have a cat called Lucy, and she would appear sometimes in the background of my videos. But I have a new cat now called Gracie, so that's cool. But she keeps on trying to get into the bin and like ripping up the bin bag and stuff. So that's what that was about. But yeah, anyways, back to Ludicolo. Yeah, I think it's going to be fairly common. It's going to be quite a consistent Pokemon as well, obviously with either Bubble or Astonish as the fast moves, and Weather Ball. Do I ever compete in play Pokemon tournaments? I haven't done so yet. I had thought about it. There was, because my local is going to be the EUIC. Oi! Stop that. The EUIC, so that's at the Excel Centre in London. And I had, basically, by the time I convinced myself to enter last season's one, or last year's one, whenever it was, I can't remember, all the spots had already been taken up. So the thing is, I don't have any in-person friends that play PvP at all, so no one I know takes part, so it's way less sort of enticing for me to go, because I'd be going on my own. Yeah, no one really cares. Obviously I could meet people there and stuff, but it's just not the same kind of thing. I feel like if you have even just like one other person, you know, you can travel together. If you both go out like fairly early, then if you wanted to, you could just go home and stuff like that, or you could stick around, see how the rest of the competition goes. I have been as a spectator a few times, and I'll definitely at least go as a spectator for the upcoming one, because it seems like at these events you can now get like a ton of fast and charge TMs from just spinning Pokestops. So that alone it makes it worthwhile in my opinion. But yeah, I haven't competed yet. And also another thing is, like, you can get away with running Spice stuff in the Go Battle League because it's a blind format, but as soon as people know your exact moveset and the team you're running, if you're running some wacky stuff, it just doesn't work at all. Like, it just cannot work. So like, yeah, the biggest thing about Spice really is the surprise factor, and like people maybe not knowing the moveset of your Pokemon, or just being like, what the heck is even this? Like, I don't know what to do against this, and maybe taking a little bit longer to make a decision, maybe to swap out or whatever. But that doesn't really translate in Show 6 Pick 3, because you have to give in like your whole team sheet, and they'll know even the movesets and everything. So it just doesn't really work. So it's something I thought about, but like, yeah, I don't know. I probably, unless enough people convince me to go to like EUIC and actually compete and tell me that they're also competing or whatever, I probably won't. It would be cool to have regionals in India, but I guess there aren't that many players here. I wonder if taking two same Pokemon with different moveset is allowed. I don't think it is. Although that would basically be the only way to have a surprise factor. Dewblade would be nice against Wiggly and Basti teams, as long as you don't align it to Marowak. Yeah, that's the... It'd be typical that obviously you go up against a team with Wigglytuff and Bastiodon, and you somehow align your Core Breaker to the Mud Slapper. Wish GBL would have a Show 6 format. A lot of people say this, and I think it would be a cool idea, but it would just take so much longer to get your battles done that, like, I don't know if it would necessarily be worth it. I think people have like suggested maybe just have like tournaments over the weekend or something, so like, you know, you don't spend absolutely ages searching for a player and then doing like just the one battle or something. If you actually had like online tournaments over the weekends, it would actually be kind of interesting. Which is the best new Mon next season, buffed or not? That's a good question. Let's have a look at some stuff again. I'm excited for Kartana, because, you know, I often use it in like the high attack teams, and with Razor Leaf it's just not that fun to use, I'll be honest. But running, obviously having Fury Cutter and Sacred Sword just gives it obviously a lot more, makes it a lot more dynamic. Dhelmise maybe, just because I have used it this season and it's been very underwhelming, but having a much cheaper charge move, and obviously if you wanted to run Shadow Ball as well, you can do. Yeah, Tyranitar with Dragon Breath, Aerodactyl with Dragon Breath as well, I think would be quite fun. I personally think next season is Scizzer's era for glory. I feel like that's been this season, the past season as well. Like, doing Catch Cup today, the amount of Shadow Scizor leads that I ran into is like, people know that if they don't see a fire type, they just 2-shield Scizor and it's winning basically every matchup. And then you've just got an RPS backline, which as long as you double shield your Scizor, then you're chilling, like there's nothing your opponents can do. Best part of the season for me has been watching regionals. That is interesting. I personally don't really care about regional tournaments at all. Like, I don't, like, and I know I said that I've been to like the EUIC a few times in person. The first, no, either the first or the second time I went was back when like Medicham, Lantern and stuff, they were like the top meta Pokemon, and like, I kid you not, every single game that was like on screen was a lead with Medicham into Lantern, and it was the most boring thing I've ever watched. So I personally just feel like it's very repetitive. I know obviously it's a good showcase of like skill and stuff like that, but like as well, I mean I haven't really watched too much of the regionals recently within like the past year or so, but the thing is, like, a lot of games you see the lead on each team and you're like, okay, it's already over. Like, they swap into this, they're going to swap into this as well, and you already know the outcome. Like, there's nothing the opposing trainer can do. It's like a GBL game where you lead with your, I don't know, your Talonflame into Bastiodon, you say swap into, I don't know, some sort of fighting type, and you're met with Wigglytuff, and you're like, okay, I've already lost this game. There's literally nothing I can do here. LAIC Cup recently was so boring too. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that because there's like hardly any Pokemon to use for that cup. I actually think if I'd ever entered a regional tournament, that meta probably would have been the one where I could do best in, just because I hit Legend in the Championship Series Cup with obviously a very off meta team. But like, looking at the teams that people brought, like Alolan Raichu, Rapidash, both of those in particular, they core break like 4 or 5 of like every single team basically. So I felt like that would have been quite an easy one to just bring like some random stuff to and actually do pretty well into it. Do you have a good Super Gourgeist for GBL? I don't think so. Every team was a mirror plus or minus a different Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, I like what they tried to do. It just, I don't think, I mean, it's hard to say because I find the regular tournaments boring to watch anyways. Did you see my new live stream request? I don't think so. Obviously, I know you requested like the around the house stream, which by the way I was waiting until next season to do, because there's a few Pokemon like Rotom I want to be able to build like all the current forms that are available for it before I do that, which I can't do, and obviously I can't do it in the catch up anyways. Honestly, Arctobax with double ice charge moves was pretty good. Yeah, I thought about that as well, just because I don't think Dragonclaw is that used. I think only into stuff like Dugong, where obviously ice is double resisted. But outside of that, yeah, I think it's like pretty good. Early predictions for the most common mons we'll be seeing in the EUIC meta. I don't have a clue, to be honest. I'll copy and paste in case you want to replace. Where did you post it? Is it in a comment of anything? Like a video somewhere? Thoughts on Doublade Safe Swap? Probably just gets destroyed by Mud Slappers, so like it'd be a fun Pokemon to use, but like since they haven't addressed like some of the most broken Pokemon in the game, it probably won't be that viable. Is it possible to get Kartana below 1500 CP? All of mine are in the 2000s. Yes, it is. So it's been a while. I think the last one was maybe Go Fest last year, so or maybe even, I don't know. There's been events basically where you can get the Ultra Beasts from like they're like research rewards for, it was like battle in 1 raid, battle in 2 raids, battle in 3 raids or whatever. It's like lead up to some sort of big event. I can't remember what the most recent one was. It might have been it might have been Go Fest or some other event. But basically you could catch them at level 15, so you could get like Kartana, you could get Blacephalon, you could get a few others that normally they wouldn't fit into the Great League, but because you catch them at level 15, you could swap them, you could trade them with someone else, and they would go down below 1500 CP. Not many Mud Slappers though. Marowak ain't that great. Gastro is still around, but what do you mean Marowak ain't that great? Marowak is still like one of the best Pokemon in the game. Sorry, irrelevant to the stream was commented on the Metagross video. Okay, I'll have a look at that then. But yeah, thank you for letting me know about that. Yeah, Doublade being weak to Astonish and Slap really hurts it. Yeah, I still don't really understand why we haven't nerfed like stuff like Rock Tomb. Like that's just so busted. But we've nerfed Parabolic Charge, which yeah is annoying for sure. But like it's not. It wasn't anywhere near as annoying as like Credilli in my opinion. Marowak kills almost everything except grasses with shields. Yeah, I think that's another reason. What the heck? Another reason why Ice getting all buffs this season is quite useful, because yeah, the amount of teams that are like double, even triple weak to Ice, but it doesn't matter because Ice types. Well, the Ice typing as a whole was just not very good. It's only resistance is other Ice types, but then obviously as well, like you don't have many high fast move pressure Ice type fast moves. Like you've got Ice Shard, which is okay, but generations not that great, so it's really only Dugong that you see with Ice Shard. And then yeah, Powder Snow, if it just hits a bit harder, then suddenly you're core breaking teams that have got like Marowak and then like a double flying team or something like that. I know, but with all the Ice and Ludicolo and Gourgeist next season, it's bound to make Marowak drop in usage. Do we actually think Gourgeist is going to be common next season? It is. I know it's getting a lot of hype, but is it actually going to be that good? I also agree that Rock Tomb needs enough, and also hello, welcome in. I used Edgersash all this season, even against the Mud Slappers and Furrets, it was still really good. Yeah, I tried it out this season as well. My one was non-XL, so it wasn't nearly as good as it could be if, you know, I wanted to grind out the XL candies for that. But yeah, it was still pretty good. Hello, I heard Solrock and Lunatone will be nice in the Love Cup. That is a good point. Yeah, there's quite a few cups that maybe I've mentioned haven't been the most fun. But actually with some of these move updates to maybe Pokemon that aren't really going to be relevant in the Open Great League, they will actually get to see some play in the Cups. So that is kind of interesting. I think Gourgeist is looking solid as a core breaker against Scizor and Azu. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but I think like even then, Azumarill, you've got Ice Beam coverage. By running Incinerate as the fast move, you're then hitting for resisted fast food damage, and then Seed Bomb isn't exactly a good charge move either. So like it is obviously a nice upgrade for it, but I don't know if it's actually going to be like that crazy. Also, thoughts on Bronzong and Toxtricity next season? I mentioned Bronzong already, like having the water weather balls can be nice up against ground type and fire type Pokemon, which obviously would be hitting you for super effective damage. Toxtricity, what's the relevance of that? What is it getting next season that's getting buffed? To be honest, I think Solrock is still preferable with Solar Beam in the Love Cup because of Alomomola. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Although potentially you could even run like Weather Ball and Solar Beam. Use it as like a safe swap. No one's going to be swapping in like their Talonflames. But like, you know, they might swap into Alomomola, get hit with a Solar Beam, and then they come in with a Scizor or something. And then you just hit them with a Fire Weather Ball. I don't know. Just an idea. But yeah, that's a true assessment. I feel like Pumpkin will be hyped a lot in the beginning, but may drop in usage after the hype dies down. Also, could you see the above message about Gourgeist win rate? Thank you, Caterpie Queen, for the donation. I don't have any donation incentives on the screen right now, but if you want to rename a Pokemon of mine, you can do so. Fire Weather Ball for Solrock is going to be useful against Trash Worm, and I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Although, I mean, Rock Side's still fine in that matchup. Obviously, Fire Weather Ball is going to be way better there, but yeah. So what are we seeing here? Saw some YouTube sim Gourgeist with the buffed Shadow Ball and its new Incinerates. It had a crazy win rate of like 25 and 18, but is just here to see how useful Caterpie is. Unfortunately, it's still the most dominant meta Pokemon, so it would have been nice to see Caterpie get nerfed this season, if I'm honest, but you know, it is what it is. There has to be a top dog in the meta, so I guess it's still Caterpie Queen. But yeah, I think like is the Gourgeist simulation 25 and 18, is that against the current meta or against what we're predicting to be the meta for next season? But either way, I think like obviously it's a great update for it, but I don't think it'll necessarily be like the craziest Pokemon ever. It would just be a Pokemon that's quite versatile. But like up against any fire type, then you're really going to struggle. But yeah, that's basically it. Clefable busted with Meteor Mash buff. Yep, I definitely agree. Getting to Meteor Mash in just 5 fast moves is crazy. Little Cup not being anywhere is a good thing. Bronzor has been buffed way too much recently. Yeah, that's true. Someone was complaining about the Little Cups not being available for the past few seasons, but actually, yeah, they keep on buffing Bronzor. So if we ever have it back, then yeah, that thing's gonna be too busted. The 25 and 18 is for next season. Mark Pogo edited his PV Poke top. Check out the rankings. To check out the rankings, I assume that's meant to say. Did we talk about Pinsir / Kingler with Vice Grip? Yeah, so the thing is, like, they're just not... Well, Kingler might be better, actually, with Vice Grip. It's got... So they both got X-Scissor, right? Obviously, X-Scissor stab on Pinsir, so you want to run X-Scissor, or at least you'd assume you want to run X-Scissor, and then Pinsir's got either Close Combat or Superpower for coverage. You could run Vice Grip. All of those moves are completely walled by Ghost types anyway, so it doesn't necessarily help you out that much. Vice Grip at least gives you neutral coverage into flying types, so I guess that's something. And then yeah, Kingler, you've got access to like Water Pulse that got buffed this season, X-Scissor, Vice Grip. Maybe you want to run Vice Grip there instead of X-Scissor, just because bug typing is resisted by a lot of stuff. I'll be sure to submit my rank 1 Gourgeist video then. Well, to be honest, if it is going to be like all the hype, then I probably won't showcase it because everyone else is going to be showcasing it. So yeah, that's the kind of thing as well. Like if everyone's using it, then I'm probably not going to use it. Unless you want to run it with like alongside Pumpkaboo, then that could be quite a fun little ABB style team. But yeah, anyways, that's just checked. It looks very strong with shields. Which Pokemon are we talking about here? But yeah, anyways, that's probably enough rambling for now. I think you guys get the picture. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will have a video tomorrow with actual battles, but I'm a little bit lost about what to do for the rest of the season. So yeah, not really sure what I want to do. So if you guys have any ideas, then please let me know. But anyways, with that being said, I will see you guys next time.